My roommate was obsessed with performance art, constantly talking about it. She'd sleep out on the sports field, me called it liberating her true nature, and even walk around nude. She'd say her body was her own, and if she didn't want to wear clothes, she wouldn't. She was the master of her own body. Gradually, she became popular in school, even gathering a following of fanatical, foolish admirers. To avoid trouble, we generally turned a blind eye. Until one day, she poured a whole mess of paint into my shoes. That night, as I was drifting off to sleep, I heard a strange sound from the dorm floor. At first, I didn't pay attention, but the rustling grew louder. I sat up and shined my flashlight. My roommate, Olivia, was pouring paint into my shoes. I cursed at her. "What the hell is wrong with you?" Olivia was startled awake. Our other roommates also turned on their phone flashlights to see. One of them said, a little awkwardly, "Claire, it looks like she poured it into your shoes." I quickly got out of bed. After seeing clearly that it was indeed my shoes, I slapped Olivia across the face. "Are you out of your mind? Damn it, you could have poured it anywhere else, but you chose my shoes." Olivia just shook her head nonchalantly. "And what if I did? I'm liberating my true nature. What the hell do you understand?" Olivia hadn't even finished speaking when, smack, I slapped her again. I put my whole body into it, swinging my arm in a full arc, leaving Olivia standing there, stunned for a long moment, unable to react. "What true nature are you liberating? All day, it's liberating true nature, liberating true nature. Why the hell don't you pour it all over your asterisk bed? Are you trying to liberate my asterisk shoes? You used to run around naked in school all the time. Don't you know what people said about our dorm behind our backs? How many true natures do you need to liberate in one day? Do you think you're some primate in the wild?" Before, Olivia often performed all sorts of outrageous performance art in school. Since it didn't directly affect us, and people only laughed at her behind her back, we always just let it go. But this time, she poured paint directly into my shoes. It was truly unbearable. Olivia clutched her swollen cheek, looking at me with resentment. "You country bumpkin, what do you know? My art is grand and sacred, not something a commoner like you could ever understand." I rolled my eyes. "I don't care about your brain-dead art, but I know you're going to pay for my shoes. If you don't, I'll go pour paint all over your bed right now. I'll liberate my true nature a bit too." Olivia scoffed, then pulled out 200 yuan from her pocket and slapped it on my desk. "A vulgar commoner like you only sees money. Aren't they just a pair of raggedy old shoes? I'll pay for them." My shoes were very cheap, only a few tens of yuan. I happily took the 200 yuan Olivia offered. Olivia then grabbed her blanket and mattress and huffed out of the dorm. "I'm not living with you country bumpkins. I have to continue my great art." My roommates and I rushed to the window to look. We saw Olivia casually spreading her mattress and blanket on the sports field, sleeping right there under the moonlight. "Madwoman," I muttered. The next morning, when I woke up, there was still a foul smell in the dorm. I hurried to the balcony and opened the window. Olivia still hadn't returned. As I was closing the window, I inadvertently glanced at the sports field. My eyes popped open in surprise. More than a dozen people were lying there. They seemed very orderly, lining up behind Olivia, sleeping right on the sports field. A crowd of students had already gathered around them, excitedly filming with their phones. Olivia and her followers completely ignored them, even seeming to revel in the attention. Soon after, the school's security guards came to disperse them. Olivia resisted, shouting loudly, "Freedom is innocent." Her followers, encouraged by Olivia, also protested the guards, chanting, "Freedom is innocent! Freedom is innocent!" As their shouts grew louder and more impassioned, the security guards looked at them awkwardly, only able to patiently persuade them one by one to return to their dorms. Olivia, however, became even more emboldened. She shed her cloak, revealing her naked body underneath. This action froze the security guards in their tracks, who then quickly covered their eyes. Olivia ran naked across the sports field, continuously shouting, "Freedom is innocent! Uphold the liberation of true nature! Freedom is innocent! Uphold the liberation of true nature!" This charade continued throughout the entire morning. It wasn't until the school administration intervened that Olivia and her followers reluctantly returned to their dorms. But then, our homeroom teacher called me and my roommates to her office. "Olivia behaving like this every day in your dorm isn't acceptable. You girls should try to reason with her a bit. At first, only she was causing trouble in school. Now, more and more students are following her lead. I looked at the homeroom teacher, completely at a loss for words. I want to reason with her, but does she listen? Just talking about Olivia makes me furious. The more I talk about her, the angrier I get. I recounted how Olivia had poured paint into my shoes the previous night and requested a dorm change. The homeroom teacher was taken aback for a moment, then started making excuses. The school dorms are all fully occupied now. I can't find empty beds for the three of you. Hannah, one of my roommates, spoke up. Then make Olivia move out. Let her transfer to another dorm. The homeroom teacher looked at Hannah awkwardly. She hasn't requested to move, so it's not appropriate for me to force her to move. Try to put yourself in her shoes. After all, she hasn't done anything *2 outrageous. I rolled my eyes. If she hasn't done anything *2 outrageous, why are you even talking to us? And what are we supposed to reason with her about? With that, my roommates and I turned and left the office, leaving the homeroom teacher standing there alone, dumbfounded. When we returned to the dorm, Olivia was already there. Hannah scoffed. Didn't she shout, "Freedom is innocent"? Why isn't she out there fighting for freedom anymore? You gave up so easily just because of a few simple threats from the school leadership. Olivia glared at Hannah, muttering something under her breath, but for once she didn't argue back. Instead, she started to apologize to us. I've been thinking about it. What I did before was truly out of line. I know I was wrong and caused trouble for everyone. Everyone was stunned by Olivia's words. No one had ever thought they'd hear Olivia say anything like that in their lives. Claire, pouring paint into your shoes last night was my fault. Can you forgive me? I won't do it again. I also know what others say about me and everyone else behind our backs. So, I formally apologize to everyone here. We all live in the same dorm after all. I don't want our relationships to be so strained. Can you forgive me? Honestly, besides being a bit crazy about her performance art, Olivia wasn't fundamentally a bad person. My roommates, seeing Olivia humble herself and apologize, gave her an out. One by one, they told her it was okay. The tension in the dorm softened. Hannah was the first to break the ice, pulling Olivia to sit around the table and gossip. The dorm returned to its original state. The four of us chatted animatedly. Time flew by. After we all finished dinner and were preparing to shower, Olivia suddenly, wrapped in just a towel, said to us, "Even though you always say my performance art is crazy, it really does have a special power. It truly helps you liberate your true nature, like you're returning to your true self." After an afternoon of heart-to-heart conversations, everyone no longer seemed to hold the same animosity towards Olivia, but her performance art still made everyone's expressions change whenever it was mentioned. Seeing that no one was paying attention to her, Olivia continued, "I feel at ease when I talk by myself. You probably don't believe me, but why don't you consider why I have so many followers? Isn't it because, after being enlightened by me, they feel so good liberating their true nature? I know you'd be embarrassed to take off all your clothes in front of strangers. But what about in the dorm? We've all seen what everyone looks like, so there's nothing to be embarrassed about. Just walk around nude in the dorm or do your own thing. The feeling is truly different from normal." My roommates looked at each other. No one spoke. Seeing this, Olivia immediately took off her own bathrobe. Facing us naked, she said, "I was born naked, so my body is mine to command. No one has the right to bind me." My roommates were taken aback by Olivia's words, and one of them even subconsciously nodded, seemingly agreeing with Olivia. Olivia's eyes lit up as she looked at us. "Do you want to try?" Before anyone could react, Olivia stepped forward and forcibly snatched the towel off the roommate who had just nodded. That roommate was slightly surprised at first and shyly covered her chest, until Olivia, relishing the moment, twirled around in place and said, "You have to bravely reveal everything to truly feel the exhilarating sensation of liberating your true nature. If you're so careful, you won't feel anything." The roommate blushed, reluctantly letting go of her hands. Olivia immediately took her hand and pulled her, dancing and singing. "How does it feel? Does it feel free and unburdened?" The roommate, both excited and shy, nodded. Olivia then encouraged us all to take off our bathrobes. Perhaps it was out of curiosity, or maybe a moment of impulsiveness, wanting to join in the fun with my roommates. I didn't hesitate. I decisively took off my bathrobe and joined their ranks. The stereo blasted our favorite song. Hand in hand, We danced nonstop in the dorm. We all thought it was just a silly game among roommates. But after it ended, Olivia probed, "How did you feel this time? Do you want to go outside and experience it with me?" My roommates and I vehemently refused. "We don't have those artistic cells. We can't do any performance art. Tonight was just us being a little crazy." Olivia tried to persuade us further, but we all had a tacit understanding. We climbed straight into our beds, and Olivia had to shut up. As a result, after that fun night in the dorm, Olivia wasn't seen in the room for several days. Since we were in a mixed dorm and everyone had different majors, we didn't usually have classes together, so no one knew where Olivia had gone. Perhaps she had gone to do some performance art with her followers. None of us paid any mind to it. A few days later, gossip started circulating. Hannah and I were buying food in the cafeteria when we kept hearing people pointing and whispering behind our backs. "Look, look, isn't that them? Yes, yes, that's them. They look so innocent on the outside, but they're wild behind the scenes, aren't they?" Exactly. Dancing naked in the dorm, they dared to dance, but I didn't even dare to watch. I frowned, listening to the gossip behind my back. I turned around, wanting to find who was pointing at us. But as soon as I turned, everyone behind me, as if on cue, lowered their heads in unison. Only a few brazen male students still stood with their necks stretched out, wearing a "I'm not scared" look. I casually pointed at the closest male student, who seemed quite tough, and asked him, "What did you just say behind my back?" The male student started to play dumb. "What I say is my business. What's it to you?" I frowned, my anger flaring. "What's wrong with you? Am I asking you to mind your own business? I'm just worried about loose tongues spreading rumors." The male student hadn't said anything yet, but a friend next to him spoke up. "What are you pretending about? Weren't you dancing naked in the dorm? What's wrong? You got the guts to do it, but not to admit it." Hearing the male student's words, my heart stopped for a few seconds. My mind raced, trying to grasp the meaning of his words. And I suddenly remembered that night a few days ago when the four of us were fooling around in the dorm. But I still tried to act tough. "What are you talking about? Don't make things up. Slander is illegal." The male student looked scornful. "Don't pretend anymore. Am I making things up? Do you dare say that person in this video isn't you?" He then opened his phone and shoved it in front of me, and I clearly saw the content of the video. It was our video. The four of us, completely naked, fooling around in the dorm. Hannah was speechless with fear. When she finally reacted, she collapsed onto the floor, terrified. She asked the male student, distraught, "How many people have seen this video?" The male student smirked contemptuously. "The whole school, probably. What? Aren't you too famous enough yet? Do you want the whole world to see your naked bodies?" I roared at him, "Get out!" Hannah was gasping for air, and I quickly patted her back. While comforting her, Hannah clung to my hand, her eyes welling up with tears. "Claire, what are we going to do? Who recorded it? And who uploaded it online? What are we going to do now? We won't be able to face anyone, will we?" I hesitated for a moment, then suddenly remembered something Olivia had said. Although I strongly disagreed with her methods, there was one thing she said that I still agreed with. We were born naked, our bodies are our own to command. They're the dirty ones. Hannah, at this moment, couldn't hear a word I was saying, just sobbing uncontrollably. Then she grabbed my hand again and asked me who I thought had recorded the video. I pursed my lips. "I think there's only one possibility, Olivia. She came back earlier than us that day. Who knows, maybe she installed a camera or something in the dorm then. Plus, her apology that day was very sudden. And then that night, she said she wanted to take us to experience liberating our true nature. We considered her a friend, but it turns out she considered us fools." Hannah nodded, agreeing wholeheartedly with my words. No wonder I felt her expression was strange after she came back that day. She looked a bit panicked. Maybe she had just hidden the camera then. "So, what do we do now?" I gently patted her head. "Of course, we call the police." I immediately dialed the police and concisely explained the entire situation. I was secretly recorded nude by someone using a camera, and the video was uploaded online. As expected, I didn't get to speak to the police, but rather met with the homeroom teacher. The homeroom teacher looked at me and my roommates, completely at a loss for words. "Didn't I tell you girls to rein her in and stop her from leading other students astray? So now you've all started going crazy too? Are you deliberately defying me?" I looked at the homeroom teacher, thinking, are you sick? Is there something wrong with you? How are we defying you? Firstly, we didn't bother anyone. Secondly, we didn't cause any trouble for the school. How is that defying you? It's our time, and we want to do our own thing within the bounds of not breaking the law, not bothering anyone, and not causing trouble for others. What business is it of yours to control us? The homeroom teacher was rendered speechless by my words, her face like she'd eaten something foul. Then she rolled her eyes and started looking for trouble. So, what's your problem? Can't the school solve it for you? Do you have to make a big fuss? Do you feel better dragging it to the police station and making sure everyone knows about you? Why didn't Olivia record other people? If you hadn't stripped naked and danced in the dorm and had just obediently worn clothes, could Olivia have recorded you? It takes two to tango. You should look at yourself first to see if you've done anything wrong. The homeroom teacher hadn't even finished speaking when I slapped her across the face. Get the hell out of here. Let me show you if one hand can make a clap. The homeroom teacher clutched her swollen red cheek, staring at me in shock, as if she couldn't believe what had just happened. So, can I secretly take nude photos of you and your dad and upload them online? If you say it's my fault, then why aren't you fully clothed everywhere, all the time? If you were wearing clothes, how could I have photographed you? The commotion I caused was loud. All the teachers in the office turned to look at me. A few female teachers approached and criticized the homeroom teacher. How can you say that? Is that how a teacher should speak? That's right, you're a bit out of line. When students come to you for help, you should solve the problem, not add fuel to the fire. The homeroom teacher saw that everyone sided with me. She could only grumble under her breath unhappily, then glared at Olivia. Tell me, why did you secretly record your roommates? Olivia raised an eyebrow, a somewhat smug expression on her face. I didn't record secretly. I recorded openly. My camera was right there. I was just documenting my process of liberating my true nature. Is it my fault they didn't see it? I looked at Olivia in disbelief, completely unable to believe she could say such words. For a moment, all the blood in my body rushed to my head, and even my fingertips trembled. I couldn't hold back another slap. After all, I believed that if a problem could be solved with fists, you should try not to use your mouth. I slapped Olivia, making her dizzy. Before she could react, Hannah wasn't to be outdone and slapped her again. In an instant, both of Olivia's cheeks swelled up, looking like big watermelons. She grabbed Hannah's hair, pushed her to the ground, and sat on her. Damn it, you want to die? You dare to hit me? With that, Olivia raised her hand to slap Hannah's face. I kicked her directly. She fell with a thud onto the ground. She let out a heart-wrenching scream. Ah, Claire, damn it, I'll kill you. She scrambled to her feet and lunged at me, her eyes vicious, as if she would tear me to shreds the next second. The next second, the teachers also rushed forward, hastily stopping Olivia. Olivia's arms were held tight by the teachers, but her legs still thrashed relentlessly, as if she wanted nothing more than to tear me apart. The homeroom teacher banged hard on the table and yelled, "Enough, haven't you caused enough trouble? This isn't a marketplace. If you want to fight, go outside." She then pointed at Olivia. "You started it. Do you still have the nerve to fight your classmates here? If the school hadn't intervened today, you'd be in detention right now, do you understand? The school and your roommates are willing to overlook this. You should be grateful. Do you still have the nerve to cause trouble here?" Although the homeroom teacher's previous words were far from humane, these two sentences truly hit home for me. Then she suddenly changed her tune. "Now, why don't you hurry up and apologize to your roommates? What are you waiting for?" Olivia seemed to have taken the homeroom teacher's words to heart, realizing the seriousness of the issue. So she reluctantly walked up to me and bowed deeply. "I'm sorry, Claire. I'm sorry, my roommates. I was wrong." Olivia offered an insipid apology, then haughtily stood to one side. I looked at her confused. "Is that it?" Before Olivia could speak, the homeroom teacher cut her off. She apologized. "What more do you want?" The homeroom teacher truly shocked my worldview once again. I never thought she would say such things, so I retorted once more. "Are you insane? She uploaded our nude photos online, and a half-hearted apology is enough? Furthermore, what does this have to do with you? Are you just standing here watching her apologize? So, I can upload your nude photos online and give you a casual apology, and you'd be fine with that, you idiot." The homeroom teacher's face turned ashen with anger, but she couldn't do anything to me. Olivia, perhaps realizing that we weren't so easily fooled, asked me, "So, what do you want?" "What do I want?" I stared into her eyes, then slowly said after a long moment, "I want to call the police to have them arrest you. Even if the school tries to stop it again, I'll report it again. I don't believe the police truly won't care. Even if the school could truly stop it, at worst, the fish would die and the net would break. I'll expose everything about you online. Don't you want to take the civil service exam? I'll completely cut off that path for you. With that, I once again pulled out my phone, ready to call the police. Olivia saw that I wasn't joking. She snatched my phone and then knelt directly in front of me. She just knelt there. Olivia cried piteously. Claire, I was wrong. I was truly wrong. I won't do it again. Can you forgive me this one time? You know I've had no parents since childhood, always relying on my grandparents. My biggest dream after graduating from university is to go back to my hometown and take the civil service exam to be with my grandparents until they're old. Claire, I beg you, please don't do this, okay? I beg you. With that, she repeatedly slammed her head onto the ground, her forehead turning red and bruised, but she seemed unaware. I am a very soft-hearted person. Seeing Olivia like this, something soft inside me was inexplicably stirred. My two roommates also couldn't bear to see Olivia in such a state. They both wanted to reach out and help her up. Olivia, however, ignored our hands and continued to kowtow relentlessly. She said, "If you don't forgive me, I'll keep bowing here until I die." My two roommates and I looked at each other. We nodded. Hannah and I each grabbed one of Olivia's arms and forcibly pulled her to her feet. If Olivia's last statement was to be considered a threat, then I had to admit she had hit my weak spot, making it impossible for us not to surrender. "All right, we forgive you. We won't call the police anymore." Olivia was about to say, "Thank you," but I cut her off in time. "We forgive you, but it's only because of your filial piety towards your elderly grandparents, not because we truly forgive you. Therefore, I want you to move out of the dorm." Olivia looked a bit awkward but still nodded. Then I continued, "As for the video you posted online, you will delete it immediately, and there will be no next time. Otherwise, it won't be as simple as this. You also have to go to the school forum and explain that you arbitrarily recorded our video and posted it online. The three of us knew nothing about this, and you must publicly apologize to the three of us." Olivia nodded like garlic. In front of us, she took out her phone and deleted the video she had posted online. The homeroom teacher, however, grumbled from the side. "Change dorms? Where would they even move to now? Haven't you girls already forgiven her? Just keep living together, why change? Always causing trouble for me." I closed my eyes, exasperated, genuinely wanting to punch this idiotic homeroom teacher a couple of times. At this moment, another female teacher nearby, perhaps seeing our strained expressions, quickly stepped in to mediate. "It's all right, isn't it just a dorm? It's easily solved. Leave this matter to me. I'll talk to student housing." I quickly thanked the teacher and pulled my two roommates, turning to walk straight out of the office. As soon as we left the office, I took out the voice recorder I had with me and uploaded the entire recording to my computer. Then, I specifically edited out the shocking statements of the idiotic homeroom teacher and posted it online with the caption, discussing how inhumane a university homeroom teacher can be. Below it, I attached the school's name and the teacher's name. Hannah looked at me in surprise. "You brought a voice recorder." I smiled. "Of course, who knows what might be said during a conversation? This is called being prepared. See, it came in handy now, didn't it?" At this point, Olivia had also returned to the dorm and began packing her belongings. We all had a tacit understanding, not saying a word throughout the process. Finally, we saw Olivia off as she left the dorm she had lived in for 2 years. The next day, I saw Olivia's statement on the forum. Below it was, naturally, a torrent of curses, but mixed in were a few odd comments. "We support you, Liv. Your country bumpkin roommates don't understand anything. That's right, you were clearly good to them and they're just ungrateful wolves. Don't hang out with them anymore. Moving out is for the best. Nothing to gain from living with those bumpkins." I frowned, reading these few out-of-place comments. These were definitely posted by Olivia's followers. I paid no mind to it. She was gone anyway, and whatever bizarre things she did in the future would no longer be my concern. A few days later, the video I posted online had climbed to the top search results. Many netizens were furious. "Oh my God, is this a teacher? How can someone say such beastly things? How many students will someone like this harm as a teacher? Isn't this university going to explain? Does this teacher have connections to be so arrogant?" At the same time, I also received a text message from the homeroom teacher. "Claire, you want to die? Delete that thing online right now." I directly replied with one word, "Scram," then casually blocked her. Immediately after, the homeroom teacher's phone called again. "Delete it for me. You don't want to have problems at graduation, do you? You do this to me, are you thinking about your future?" I let out a cold laugh. "At this point, you're still threatening me?" Seeing that I didn't say anything, the homeroom teacher's voice grew sharper. She started yelling at me. "Claire, do you really want to die? Delete it for me right now. Damn it, don't push me. A cornered person can do anything, you know?" I still said nothing, silently listening to her crazed ranting on the other end of the line. Actually, it wasn't just this time. Before, my homeroom teacher had done many unbelievable things that shocked me. I still had 2 years until graduation. Having a homeroom teacher like her leading me was, to me, always a disaster. After hearing enough of the homeroom teacher's curses, I hung up and put my phone on airplane mode. I knew people like her. Even if I blocked her number, she would use other numbers to harass me. I also uploaded the entire call recording online. This time, the internet exploded again. The comments section was entirely filled with curses directed at the homeroom teacher. That evening, I also received the school's decision regarding the homeroom teacher. She was fired. I jumped with joy, sharing this rare good news with my roommates. As a result, the door was suddenly kicked open from the outside. A group of unfamiliar people aggressively entered from outside, pointing at my nose and asking, "Damn it, are you Claire?" Before I could say anything, another person quickly asked, "What are you doing? Haven't you seen the pictures? It's clearly her." My roommates saw that these people were all targeting me, so they quickly stood in front of me. Just as I was wondering what they would do next, the people in front of us suddenly started stripping. My roommates and I were simultaneously stunned. We had never seen such a sight. My roommates and I were both paralyzed, not knowing what to do. The group in front of us were naked in moments, then said to me, "Claire and your roommates, you understand nothing about art. Art is grand, it's priceless. You ordinary people will never understand the place of art in our hearts. Sister Olivia is the one who led us to performance art, a great treasure of humanity. By what right did you kick her out of the dorm? By what right did you make her publicly apologize to you online?" I just felt like I was hearing something ridiculous. Hannah's eyes widened and she said angrily, "Get out of here. Who let you into our dorm? Don't go crazy here." The leader of the group said, "You must apologize to Sister Olivia. It's just a video of you that she uploaded online. She's spreading awareness to you vulgar commoners about liberating your true nature." I spat on the ground. "Then, why don't you Olivia fanatics tell Olivia to upload your asterisk videos online?" One of the girls in the group pulled out her phone and put it in front of me. "Who said Sister Olivia didn't record us? She already posted ours online." Hearing the person in front of me say that, I felt like the sky was falling. I told the girl to share this dark website with me, then told them to get out of my dorm. "You have to apologize to Sister Olivia first." I said impatiently, "Apologize for what? If you don't leave, I'll call the police. Let's see if the police and the dean are as lenient as I am about you trespassing into my dorm." The group hesitated for a moment, then finally put their clothes back on and left the dorm. Hannah looked at me, a bit displeased. "Why did you let them go like that?" I explained, "You don't need to think much about this. Olivia must have incited them to come. Plus, I always felt that Olivia posting the video online wasn't that simple." I opened the website the girl had given me and found Olivia's account there. Under her account were countless nude videos of girls, with sky-high views, some even receiving donations. Out of morbid curiosity, I clicked, "Become an author." A pop-up notification immediately appeared on the screen. I read the notification and it dawned on me. It turned out this website was full of secretly recorded videos. As long as the views were high, you could earn money. Donations worked the same way. The website also had many shady guides and tools for covert filming. Seeing this, I felt my hands tremble. It turned out Olivia was just a wolf in sheep's clothing. She pretended to be a performance artist to show off and lure a large number of students to become her followers. Then, during the process she called liberating true nature, she used her camera to record the girls' nude acts and then sold them online for a hefty profit. Damn it, I couldn't help but curse. I never imagined Olivia was like this. I wasted my empathy on her before. I quickly took screenshots of the website and Olivia's account. Then I called her. "You bastard, You uploaded those girls' nude photos online to exploit them for profit. In their hearts, you were a teacher, a friend, but you treated them like this. Olivia let out a scornful snort. So what? They all did it voluntarily. What did I do wrong? If it weren't for me, would they have access to such noble art? I suppressed my rage, closing my eyes. I never thought Olivia could be so shameless. Originally, I could have chosen not to care about this, but I truly couldn't turn a blind eye to these girls being ruined by a beast like Olivia. I turned and changed my tone to a cheerful one. Are you free today? I'll treat you to a meal. Olivia was surprised by my sudden change in attitude, a little cautious. What are you up to? I know you've made a lot of money in this business. Take me under your wing. I was just testing you earlier. Let's make money together. You know my family isn't rich either. Olivia was no longer suspicious and nodded in agreement. I set a meeting for 8 p.m. tonight. At 8 p.m., I arrived on time. Olivia saw me and immediately started mocking me. You always called me shameless before. I thought you were so noble, but it turns out you have no boundaries either. I smiled without speaking. Olivia seemed to be reveling in her mockery, crossing her legs and looking at me provocatively. If you want me to help you make money, shouldn't you pay a price? I nodded. That's only right. So today I've brought you a big gift. Olivia looked at me with eyes full of expectation, seemingly wondering what kind of big gift I had. I mysteriously covered her eyes. A few minutes later, just as she was about to lose patience, I suddenly released my hands, and standing in front of her were the police. I feared the school would interfere again if I called the police on campus, so I decisively reported it outside the school. Olivia and I were both taken in. Olivia turned and angrily cursed at me, her mouth spewing disrespectful words for me and my entire family. I let out a cold laugh. Curse all you want. You won't have this chance to curse so freely again anyway. Olivia was furious and tried to curse again, but the police officer next to her sternly stopped her. At the police station, I told them everything I knew. Olivia was detained as wished. The law's punishment awaited her. When I walked out of the police station, standing at the door was my new homeroom teacher. I originally thought the new homeroom teacher would scold me for causing trouble for the school. To my surprise, he just smiled and gave me a thumbs up, indicating I had done a good job. I responded to the homeroom teacher with my most sincere smile. I believe any woman, when faced with what Olivia did, would have stepped up. Olivia's sentence came quickly. What true nature are you liberating? All day it's liberating true nature, liberating true nature. Why the hell don't you pour it all over your asterisk bed? Are you trying to liberate my asterisk shoes? Her eyes were glazed over, staring blankly ahead. Until she saw me, her eyes suddenly lit up, filled with rage. Claire, you bitch, why did you do this to me? What good does it do you to ruin me? I let out a cold snort. Ruin you? I didn't ruin you, you ruined yourself, Olivia. Do you know? The girls you harmed are still out there speaking well of you, speaking well to the school, speaking well to the police. They are so innocent and kind, yet you exploited their kindness to do such disgusting things. Do you deserve them? Olivia screamed hysterically. They're stupid. Whose fault is it if they're so stupid? I was trying to make money. I was trying every way to make money. What did I do wrong? I just wanted to earn a lot of money so my grandparents could have a better life. Where did I go wrong? I shook my head, my anger mixed with a few parts powerlessness. Where did you go wrong? A gentleman loves money but acquires it with integrity. How many years have you been studying? Don't you understand this principle? Have all your years of reading gone to the dogs? I grew angrier as I spoke. I knew Olivia was truly beyond saving. I no longer argued with her. I decisively turned and left, ignoring Olivia's curses from behind. Fortunately, the school also arranged psychological counseling for the affected female students. I believe they will soon overcome this pain.